Hey, what's up, guys? We got a new bounty as part of today's update. Tobin Winfield. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. It's not really that hard. It doesn't fit with Halloween theme as I thought we would have today, but if you haven't seen the trailer, here it is, and I'll be back with you guys shortly.
Now, this gentleman, he's more used to signing off on bounties than being the subject of them. But no one cries when a corrupt politician gets their comeuppance. I believe he's hiding out in Thieves' Landing. Yeah, the man's a thief, but not the same kind as the rest of them down there. I'd wager he won't survive the week. From the looks of this poster, you're to recover the deeds that he stole, so make sure you find them.
Alright, so after the cutscene, you end up in Thieves' Landing. There are a couple locations where you have some clues. You can either go ahead and search the clues, or I don't know if it'll be the same for you guys, but I ended up finding him kind of at the little stash with the gin and alcohol. You'll see he's hiding behind the box right here. There's a little bit of a cutscene you have to go through. He kind of tells you his little background, tells you that he's not a bad man and all that stuff, and then basically wants you to help him. So we'll let this play, you can listen, and I'll be back again shortly.
I come willingly, but please hear me out. I'm in danger. Not from you, fine people. Rather some cutthroats I was quite unwise to trust. I promised them the deeds that I misappropriated if they would help me flee. Now, I have it on good authority that they mean to kill me for those deeds. Protect me, and they're yours. I'll give it all back. Yes? Good. Good. Follow me. They will be here very soon.
So after you leave Thieves' Landing, he wants you to follow him to a location where he has some deeds hidden, and you will get ambushed at a couple different locations along this point. This one is kind of on the way toward McFarlane's ranch. Not too hard, couple enemies. He just makes a beeline for it across the river. You don't necessarily need to kill all these guys. As you see, I leave one of them left, and he does not give pursuit after this point. So you just cross the river, then you go to the next point where you end up getting ambushed again. This one is a little bit more intense as far as the battle. They come from all kinds of directions, so you might want to make sure you have either a shotgun, a repeater, some pistols, and make sure you guys end up using a tonic or have some food handy so you can keep your health up. Just go ahead and defend him. Make sure they don't get too close. Don't let too many of them surround him, because if he dies, obviously the mission's going to fail, and we'll talk about that coming up in a little bit. So just go ahead and protect him. Once you finish this stage, after about 2 or 3 waves of enemies, then you guys will proceed to the location where he has the deeds, and then from that point you will notice that there is another ambush point, which is probably, it's not the hardest, it's the one that caught me off guard, so I ended up taking a lot of fire in the beginning of it, so that's why it's going to be important that you guys have some tonics, so you can have your gold rings, and you don't end up failing the mission. If you do fail the mission, obviously you're going to get less money, gold, and XP. There is another part of this mission where you can fail it without actually having to leave the mission, but again, that does affect your total payouts for the end, and we'll get into that in a second. So you will have a kind of a little bit of a decision to make coming up here soon. So once we get down to this location, he's about to lead us down to the riverbank where you can go ahead and get the deeds. Now you notice you start getting fired on from the hills and the cliffs. This was the part where I wasn't really ready for, so you see a couple of these shots ended up taking down my fortification ring and draining my health. So you want to really keep that in mind. Maybe before you get to this point here, after you finish that last ambush, you want to go ahead and eat some food, tonic up, so that you can be ready when you come down here. Obviously, this is only the first stage of this, or the first star. I'm going to assume if you do this by yourself, the 3rd, 4th, 5th time, there's going to be a lot more gunfire. It's going to be a lot tougher. You may want to either have a friend with you, or just be really strategic and, position yourself once you get to these points so you can be able to, single out each individual guy so you're not running down into the middle of all of them like I was. And, at this point right here, I'm only a couple shots away from dying, but luckily I killed everybody. I think I end up tonicking up. We go down here, we end up getting the deeds, and then this is where you're going to have your decision to make. He begs for you to let him have some decency and ride into the jail on his own. but you're going to see in the next clip coming up, you know, I gave him the benefit of the doubt, but something happened. I ended up getting knocked off my horse, and then he ends up taking off. Now you'll see in the next clip, when he ends up taking off, you have basically an option to either restart the mission or restart from the checkpoint. And this is what I'm talking about. At this point, he was following me. Then you get attacked again, and I would assume maybe if you kill everybody, he'll keep following you, or maybe this is his cue to get out of there. So while I was trying to revive my horse, he's making his way out, and you'll see by the time I revive my horse, he ends up getting far enough away where it gives me a prompt to either restart from the checkpoint or replay the whole mission. If that happens to you, you're going to notice at the end of the mission, you are going to lose tons of XP, gold, bounty XP, and regular XP, so you may want to make sure you avoid that. So my suggestion to you would be, once you guys get the deeds from down at the coastline, just go ahead and tie them up, throw them on your horse. It's going to be a lot easier to make sure you complete this mission successfully. Now, obviously, it doesn't count as any kind of deaths for the mission, but it still will affect your total pay for the outcome of the mission. So my suggestion, just go ahead and tie them up after you get the deeds, throw them on your horse. As you go and lead them to the jail, you will have a couple people, a few people chasing after you. Again, this is only on 1 star. As you start right here, you see they kind of make it easy for you, like, you should have tied them up and put them on your horse. But you do have quite a ride to the jail in Armadillo, so maybe if you have that bounty wagon, maybe you want to take that out for the mission so you don't have to really worry about this. But that's basically it. Pretty easy on 1 star. Yeah, I don't know. Not the best bounty mission so far that we've had. You know, it's, I don't know. I guess it's different in its own way, but not too exciting. Again, as the star and the difficulty moves up, it's going to be a lot harder to complete. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.